Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. And again. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yamunatira Vanacharya. Yamunatira Vanacharya. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Goda Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. We are going to read from Srimad Bhagavatam 9 Canto, Chapter 19, Text 18. Yeah, 18 and 19. Narayanam namaskritya Naram chaiva narottamam Devim saraswatim vyasam Tato jaya mudirayet Nasta prayesha vadreshu Nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavati uttama shloke Bhaktir bhavati naishtiki Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya Purnam varsha sahasram me They wrote 19 in the word, so I will read only myself the 18. Purnam varsha sahasram me vishayam sevato sakrit tatapi chanusavanam trishna teshu pajayate. I have spent a full 1,000 years enjoying sense gratification, yet my desire to enjoy such pleasure increases daily. Purport. Maharaya Yati is explaining in terms of his actual experience how strong our sexual desire even in old age. Text 19. Tasmad etam aham tyaktva Brahman yadyaya manasam Nirdvando nirahankarash charishyami mrigaisaha tasmadetam aham tyaktva brahmanyadhyaya manasam nirdvando nirahankarash charishyami mrigaisaha. Our YouTube viewers want to chant?
Tasmadetamaham tyaktva Ramanyadhyaya manasam Nirdvanvo nirahankarash Charishyami mrigaisaha.
Very nice. Tasmat, therefore, etam, such strong desires for lusty affairs. Aham, I, tyaktva, giving up. Brahmani, upon the Supreme Absolute True. Adhyaya, fixing. Manasam, the mind. Nirdvandva, without duality. Nirahankara, without an identity of false prestige. Charishyami, I shall loiter or wander in the forest. Mrigaisaha, with the forest animals. Therefore I shall now give up all these desires and meditate upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, free from the dualities of mental concoction and free from false prestige. I shall wander in the forest with the animals. Purport. To go to the forest and live there with the animals, meditating upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the only means by which to give up lusty desires. Unless one gives up such desires, one's mind cannot be freed from material contamination. Therefore, if one is at all interested in being freed from the bondage of repeated birth, death, old age, and disease, after a certain age, one must go to the forest. Pancha Shoradvam Vanam Brajet. After 50 years of age, one should voluntarily give up family life and go to the forest. The best forest is Vrindavan, where one need not live with the animals, but can associate with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who never leaves Vrindavan. Cultivating Krishna consciousness in Vrindavan is the best means of being liberated from material bondage. For in Vrindavan one can automatically meditate upon Krishna. Vrindavan has many temples, and in one or more of these temples one may see the form of the Supreme Lord as Radha Krishna or Krishna Balaram and meditate upon this form. As expressed here by the words Brahmanyadhyaya, one should concentrate one's mind upon the Supreme Lord, Parabrahman. This Parabrahman is Krishna, as confirmed by Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavam. Krishna and his abode, Vrindavan, are not different. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Aradhyo Bhagavan Brajesha Tanayas Tadhama Vrindavanam. Vrindavan is as good as Krishna. Therefore, if one somehow or other gets the opportunity to live in Vrindavan, and if one is not a pretender but simply lives in Vrindavan and concentrates his mind upon Krishna, one is liberated from material bondage. One's mind is not purified, however, even in Vrindavan, if one is agitated by lusty desires. One should not live in Vrindavan and commit offenses, for a life of offenses in Vrindavan is no better than the lives of the monkeys and hogs there. Many monkeys and hogs live in Vrindavan, and they are concerned with their sexual desires. Men who have gone to Vrindavan but who still hanker for sex should immediately leave Vrindavan and stop their grievous offenses at the lotus feet of the Lord. There are many misguided men who live in Vrindavan to satisfy their sexual desires, but they are certainly no better than the monkeys and hogs. Those who are under the control of Maya, and specifically under the control of lusty desire, are called Maya Mriga. Indeed, everyone in the conditioned stage of material life is a Maya Mriga. It is said, Maya Mrigam Dayita Yepsitam Amvadavad. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas to show his causeless mercy to the Maya Mrigas, the people of this material world, who suffer because of lusty desires. One should follow the principle of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and always think of Krishna in full Krishna consciousness. Then one will be eligible to live in Vrindavan and his life will be successful. Om Agyanati Mirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Was born darkest of ignorance, and my spiritual master Srila Prabhupada opened my eyes with torchlight of knowledge. I offer my humble respectful obeisance unto him. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. So, the story of Yayati had a happy ending. In the sense that after enjoying for 1,000 years sense gratification, he said, it's not never gonna be satisfied ever. That's the nature of lusty desire. They're never satisfied. Even in an old age, may the power may not be there in the body as a young man, but desire is still there. No? You see old people sitting in a bench in the park, and if some beautiful girl passed through, they all look. Their eyes go immediately there after the girls. Because that desire is still there. And that means they have to get another material body to satisfy their desire. Prabhupada said, if the man is too attached to his wife or girlfriend, whatever, in next life he is going to be born as a woman. And if she's attached to the man, she will be born as a man. And if they are too attached to each other, they may meet again and marry again. That's also there. So this big illusion, Maya Mriga, very powerful illusion in this world. Everybody is tied up by this. So King Yayati is saying, now I'm renouncing the kingdom, I'm going to the forest to live with the animals. Of course, in the forest there are many sages who he can associate with and hear from them and do bhakti with them. So, of course, that is the main purpose, not just be with the animals. Of course, Prabhupada said the best forest is Vrindavan. There you don't need to live with the animals, although they are everywhere. Monkeys are everywhere in Vrindavan, monkeys and hogs. Once every Javasi told me that he was invited by ISKCON devotee to give seminar on deity worship. He is a very expert in that. And they took him to a zoo. And in the zoo he saw many monkeys behind bars. So he was laughing. The devotee asked him why he was laughing. He said, well, here in the West, people are free and monkeys are behind the bars. And in Vrindavan, the monkeys are free, we are behind the bars or the house, so they will not enter the house. It's the other way. Hare Krishna. So, Prabhupada lived in Vrindavan before coming to the West, like 4 or 5 years. So he's speaking from his own experience that, if somebody is not a preacher and he wants to retire from family life, it is advisable to go to Vrindavan and live honestly there. Don't commit offenses. Those who live in Vrindavan and commit sins, they have to be born next life as a monkey or a hog or something. In Vrindavan, yes. That's what it's not a good thing, you know. You see the lives of monkey and hogs in Vrindavan is miserable. It's abominable, no? Once I was walking to a temple in Vrindavan chanting japa, and suddenly I saw a man on a bicycle. He stopped, he went and grabbed a hog and the stool, tied his legs with a rope, and took him along with him in the back seat of his cycle, of his bicycle. What he's gonna do with that? Poor guy. There are people who eat meat in Vrindavan also. Remember the story of Indra? Indra committed an offense against his guru, Brihaspati. So he has to be born in this planet as a hog for 1 full year to pay for his offense. And after the year finished, I think was Narad Muni was Brahma? Brahma came to tell him, okay, the year is over, let's go back to Indralok. But Indra said, no, why I want to go there? I'm happy here. I have, I'm staying in the mud all day, eating everything I want, having all the sex I want. It doesn't matter if it's the daughter or sister or mother. We don't care about those things here. But Indra, this is a very abominable life. It's horrible life. Well, maybe for you, for me, is great, So, but then the owner of the farm came with a club and grabbed one of the hogs and beat him on the head. We have a saying in South America: every hog has a Saturday, meaning when every Saturday they kill one hog. So when Indra saw that, he became frightened. He said, Brahma, no, please take me away from here. In Mexico, they have a saying that unless you see things the color of ants, you don't react. Ants' color. The ants are black.
What is the color of ants?
When things are go wrong, they say, "Oh, things are color of an ant," means things are black. Unless you see it very close, like, oh, you don't react. We need this kind of shock sometime to react to the reality of this world, which is horrible, I mean, repeated birth and death. When Prabhupada went to South America, Venezuela, he was talking with a group of university professors. And Prabhupada was saying about the danger of, if you don't practice spiritual life, you become attached to your dog, whatever, you may be born in next life as a dog. And the professor said, and what is wrong with that? It's nice to be a dog. Prabhupada was shocked. He could not believe it. Prabhupada said, in India, if you tell a man he's going to be born as a dog, he will be shaking in fear. They haven't seen stray dogs in India, how they beat them, and they are everybody kicks them. They are all thin, they don't have enough food. Once Prabhupada was walking in Juhu Beach with his disciples, and a stray dog passed through. Prabhupada said, see, he's suffering because he has no master. He was all thin and, beaten. And then a man passed through with his own dog, and the dog was well fed and strong. Prabhupada said, see, he's happy because he got a master. And Prabhupada said, don't tell everyone, but this Kantimala we got here means we have a master. We are a pet of Krishna. So, Prabhupada also said in Vrindavan, everybody goes to Mangalarti, they hear the bells, the conch shell, they go. There are so many temples in Vrindavan who you can go any of them. Prabhupada wanted to have a temple in Vrindavan, So he saw a tract of land and he told the devotee, find out who are the owners. So he spoke to the owners and told them his plan to have a temple for Krishna Balaram there. The devotee said, but Prabhupada, nobody comes here. This is outside Vrindavan. And only goats come here to eat, Prabhupada said, no, this is a good place for a temple. So they agree to give Prabhupada the land for a temple. But after a few months, no answer from them. So Prabhupada sent one of his disciples to find out, Indian disciple. So he went there and remind them, my guru remind you your promise to give the temple. They said, well, we don't know now because we also promised to another Vaishnava, he also want to make temple there. He's a Brijavasi, so we don't know. But you promised my guru first, please, He want to do a temple for Krishna there, and many devotees from all over the world will come, please. Okay, they said. Let us leave it to or Thakurji to decide. They have Radha Krishna deity, So they wrote in two papers. One paper yes, the other paper no. They mix it together and put it in front of the deity and told the devotee, you grab one of this. If it say yes, your guru is having his temple. And if it say no, sorry, no. So poor devotee was, please Krishna help me, I want to serve Prabhupada, So he grabbed one of the papers, say yes. Krishna. Huh? No, was Shankar something. Was a male devotee, Indian devotee. I can't remember his name right now. Anyway, so Prabhupada had his temple. When Prabhupada said, when a pure devotee wants something, Krishna makes sure he will have it. for his service. No, he wants something for his service. He will make sure he will have it. No. Prabhupada said the same thing about his coming to America and preach Krishna consciousness. For a full year, he was not successful. And he will go to the port asking every day when the next boat of going back to India. And one day the clerk asked him, "You come every day, but you never go back." Prabhupada said, "Well, I have to fulfill the order of my guru first, you know." And one day he received a letter from Sumati Murarji, the one who gave him a round trip. Actually, she gave him a round trip ticket. No, you don't come until you fulfill your mission there. Don't come before that. So he took it as Krishna's blessings, you know. So Prabhupada, when he was in South America, once morning he told one devotee who asked him the question. He asked two questions, the temple president. "Prabhupada, why you stress so much to do a big book distribution in a big scale? Why you stress that so much?" The Prabhupada said, "Because people in this world are suffering. And the only way to give them relief is through these books." No? So that's why I'm stressing so much. There's a relief program. People who read this book, they will get relieved. It happened once, one devotee in Philadelphia was doing book distribution at the airport. And he met a man and offered the Bhagavatam. He was distributing Bhagavatam, where the story of Ajamil, that's in the, which canto? Sixth canto. And the man opened the book and he saw the picture of the Yamadutas pulling the subtle body out of the Ajamil, you know. The man was start shaking, you know. He was like, he was so nervous. The devotee asked him, "What's going on?" "Well, I have a heart attack, few weeks ago, and I saw the same guys in here, coming for me. Are this real? Yeah, please tell me more." And the body preached to him, explained to him it's real, yes. So the man decided to visit temples and become devotee, before dying, There is another amazing story about dying. And after Srila Bhakti Sundar Saraswati Thakur left this world, one of his Grihastha disciples, he fell down. He stopped chanting, started drinking, eating meat, going to prostitutes, all kind of things. So when he was, he died, he was old, he died. So he went to Yamalok. Yamaraj has a secretary, Chitragupta. And easy cases he will solve. More complicated cases he will send to Yamaraj. So when this devotee case came, he thought, "Your case is complicated, go to Yamaraj." So he went to Yamaraj. Yamaraj was looking, "Oh, you did so many sinful activities. Have you done any good activity in your life?" "Well, yes, I took initiation from Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada." "Oh, great Vaishnava, my obeisances." Yamaraj said, "I have to consult with him about it." So he asked Srila Bhakti Siddhanta to come, and he came. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta. And he explained, "Yamaraj, this is your fallen disciple. He did so many this, that. What we should do with him? I would like to hear your opinion." And Srila Bhakti started chastising the disciple. "Why you fell down? Why you stopped chanting? Why you broke the principles?" He was crying, "Please forgive me, Guru Maharaj. I became weak. I fell in bad association, and please forgive me." And so he was really repentant Okay, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said. All right. I'm going to give you a second chance. Right now, you're going to go back to your body in the earth planet. And when you wake up, you must make immediate arrangement to join a temple of Gaudiya Math and surrender there the rest of your life. Stop all sinful activity and chant 64 rounds every day. Are you willing to do this? Yes, Guru Maharaj, thank you so much. The man was on the crematorium. The family were going to light the fire to the wood, and suddenly he jumped out of there. And the family saw, the ghost came in the body. No, I'm not a ghost. It's me. Then they took him home. He told them the whole story. He bade farewell, went to a temple, surrendered there. And it's a true story. It's a true story told by the man himself. He passed the rest of his life there, and after like 8-10 years, he passed away. He was fully surrendered. So we all deserve a second chance, of course, in the sense that if even as devotees we have made mistakes, but still we can, Prabhupada said to acknowledge one's mistake is good, because you can learn from your mistake not to commit them again. Prabhupada tells the story of Alexander the Great, that once they caught a thief in his camp, and they were going to chop off his hand. That was the way to deal with thieves. But the thief said, "Can I say something on my defense?" Yes. It is true I was stealing. I was caught red-handed, so I can't deny it. But you, Alexander the Great, you are my elder big brother, because you also conquer and steal from cities and even countries, and and plunder, and so you are my big brother. I'm your small brother. Please forgive me this time. Alexander, hang him, is offending me, calling me a thief. But no, Alexander said, yeah, he's saying the truth. Let him go. Prabhupada said that is greatness. To acknowledge one's mistakes is greatness. Not everybody is willing to acknowledge their mistakes. No, I'm not like this. I never, So, and Prabhupada liked it also, Isaac Newton's humbleness. He mentioned Isaac Newton, that Prabhupada, quoted him. Isaac Newton said, "How much knowledge do I have? I only collected few grains of sand on the vast beach. How much knowledge do I have? Only a few grains of." Prabhupada liked that. He said, "Oh, that's very nice, humbleness. We should never be proud of what we know or what we have, no? Because after all, it's all allotted by Krishna, isn't it? Krishna saying in Bhagavad Gita, Rasamapso Kauntiya Pravashmi Shurya Shashishurya Pranava Sarva Vidichu Shabdeke Purusham Nrishu. This Purusham Nrishu means I'm ability in man. So any ability is God's given, and we should not be proud of it. We should be utilized in Krishna's service. You know the saying? There's a saying. What is the saying? Not to show off with borrowed feathers? Plume? Borrowed plumes. Borrowed plumes. And the story comes, once a crow found a peacock feather, and he grabbed it with his beak and put it on his tail, and he was showing off. I'm a peacock, I'm a peacock. So all the other crowds, yeah, you're... So, like that, everything we may have, any ability is coming from Krishna. It's borrowed and should be utilized for Krishna's service. You see many people are very talented in this world, in so many fields, medicine, music, art, science, this, that, they get Nobel Prize. And Prabhupada said all this like many zeros. Many zeros. Only if you put Krishna, the one, in front of the zero, then they have value. Otherwise, they have no value. So that's the reality of this world. That everybody has to die. Recently, I read something in the news. One very famous artist, he actually was dress designer for the big stars, the Hollywood star. He was a very rich man, And he got cancer, and he wasn't, suffering like anything. And he was in a wheelchair in a small room, And he started reflecting. He wrote, actually, he sent it in the internet, that I have mansions all over the world, and I am in this small room. I have very fancy, expensive car. I have now in this wheelchair. I have the most valuable garments made of pure silk, and now I have to put this small. What they put them on the hospital, Yeah, hospital garb. And then what they said, this life is an illusion. The reality is dead. That is the reality of this world. Everybody has to die. People live in. That's the most amazing thing in this world. That's what Yudhishthir Maharaj said when he was asked by Yamaraj, his father, what is the most amazing thing? Every day so many people die. But those who kept living, they think, oh, it's not my turn. They're dying, I'm still living. For how long? In Vrindavan, they do cow dung cakes, They put them to dry on the sun, and then they use them for cooking, whatever. So, Prabhupada mentioned this. The wet cow dung cake telling the dry cow dung, ha ha ha, you're gonna burn. And who's next? It's just a question of little time, until they dry up. So we are hearing so many devotees are leaving their body, Recently 3 devotees, nice Prabhupada disciples, Charu Prabhu, Ranjit Prabhu, Anekanath Prabhu. They did so much nice service to Prabhupada. But I mean to say, day by day, God brothers are living, this world. And one day will be no more Prabhupada disciple on this planet. That's the law of nature. But the movement will go on because there are many sincere devotees, second generation taking already responsibilities, in the movement. Serious, sincere. So the movement will go on because there is a prophecy for 10,000 years. The movement will go on successfully. So it has to happen. Any comments, questions? Yes. Dharma Setu Prabhu.
Maharaj, on one hand, in the class in purport it was mentioned that Maharaj Yati had an awakening.
Yes.
And he gave up his life as a sense enjoyer, but then again it was brought up that it just seems for conditioned souls it can go on forever.
Yeah.
So what's the determining factor between where someone can actually get out of the tendency to be perpetually just trying to enjoy?
That's a good question. Only if they get the good fortune of good association and give up the bad association. That's the only way. So Maharaj Yayati, he went to Gurukul as a kid. That's the tradition. All Kshatriyas will send their children to Gurukul to be trained, in knowledge, in spiritual knowledge and also material knowledge, as Kshatriyas, both. So he got the training, of course, and he has a son named Yadu, who was a pure devotee. From here, Krishna appeared in his dynasty. So, of course, Yayati has to be delivered. So Krishna in the heart, as a good friend, he inspired Yayati, He reminded him of the teaching he learned in Gurukul, of detachment, Because that's the purpose of Gurukul, that from the age of 5 to 25, children are trained to be brahmacharis. And then they can get married if they want, and they know after a certain age they have to renounce. So, of course, this happened in another yuga, not in Kali Yuga. It is said that Yayati sent some of his sons to be ambassador in Greece. Prabhupada mentioned in the Bhagavatam. So, definitely he got the mercy of Krishna because he has such a great son, Yadu. So Krishna, will deliver all the father of Yadu. Definitely. So, and also, certain moment he realized, by Krishna's mercy is mistake, He understood it's not going to ever end by itself. You have to do something about it. Old age is not a guarantee that one automatically will be free from lusty desires, It's not. We've seen old men, even Sayasi getting married in old age. It happened. So the thing of going to Vrindavan is to have the opportunity there of associating with devotees there and give up sense gratification completely. Of course, if somebody is Krishna conscious, he can be in Vrindavan anywhere in the world, in the sense that Prabhupada told us Vrindavan is not just a localized place in the map in India. It's a state of consciousness. So if somebody Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada took Vrindavan everywhere with him and established temples, Vrindavan atmosphere everywhere he went. So because he carried Krishna in his heart, so that's a fact, So where there is Tulsi, where there is Tulsi is Hindi and Tulasi is Sanskrit. We say Brindaya Tulsi, not Brindaya Tulasi Devi. No, it's Tulasi. Tulsi is Hindi and Tulasi is Sanskrit. And the verse is written in Sanskrit. Yeah, check it out. Another thing I noticed, not only here, many temples I visit, devotees pay obeisance with one hand. They grab the japa in one hand, whatever they have, and the other hand they put it. But according to the nectar of devotion, that's an offense to pay obeisance with one hand. It has to be both hands. Whatever you're carrying, japa, whatever, put it aside. 10 fingers should touch the ground. 10 fingers. Not like this, not like this. Not like this. This. 10 fingers. Isn't? That's not so difficult, yes. Sometimes what they carry their japa bag, they pay up. Japa bag should not touch the ground. Once a devotee have his japa bag in the shadar on the floor, And Prabhupada told him, why your japa's on the ground? Prabhupada's not on the ground, it's on the chant. Why your japa's on the ground? So japa should not touch the ground. So if you have it on you, took it off, put somewhere else, they pay no obeisance. Properly, with both hands. This is suggestion. And also don't chant Ramo. Prabhupada, stopped the kirtan. Vishnujan Swami was leading kirtan, and then he changed Rama to Ramo. Prabhupada stopped the kirtan, and he asked him, who is this Ramo? Ramo, with an O at the end. You are spoiling the movement. The proper pronunciation is Rama. So it became fashionable in the movement, people chanting Ramo, even Kirtaniyas, Hare Ramo. Prabhupada said, no, you are spoiling the movement. I mean, Prabhupada loved Vishnujan Swami. He sing like an angel, But he corrected him because he loved him. And Vishnujana was grateful. He never did the Ramo thing again. Some few years ago, I was in Los Angeles, and many devotees were chanting Ramo. So I told the story in the class about what Prabhupada did. And next time I visited there, Swabhas Prabhu told me, it took us 3 months to stop the Ramo. 3 months. Hare Krishna. So it's important, I mean, you see, the Bengali devotee, they chant Ramo because in the language, the A is pronounced as O. Well, Prabhupada was Bengali, he never chanted the Ramo. If you hear all this recording, he always chant Rama. The first A is a little longer, Rama. And the shorter A, Rama. Not Rama. Rama is Goddess Lakshmi. Anyway. Okay. Yes. So, any question, comments? Disagreement? Okay. Another thing, one devotee once asked me, why when devotee chant the Tulasi Kirtan, they don't say Namo Namaha at the beginning, because the song is Namo Namaha Tulasi Krishna Prayasi Namo, and the devotees say Tulasi. Why they don't say Namo Namaha? It is written first. So that's a good point. But everywhere in the world, the devotee they don't say Namo Namaha at the beginning. You do. Very good for you. Everybody should follow his example. We should repeat also Namo Namaha at the beginning. Twice Namo Namaha at the beginning and at the end. It's a detail, but detail is important also. I like details. Actually, I in the Spanish book, I brought the BBT, Spanish BBT, telling them there's a mistake, this page, that page. I did that many times. I'm a fault finder. Hare Krishna. For service, of course, not to offend anyone, but the idea to serve the devotees. All right, thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Premanandi, Hari Hari Bo.